Hello, hello, welcome back to Jay's Fish. And today we're going to be talking about my tide pool tank. So with this tank, I'm trying to replicate the beaches and the actual natural habitats around where I live. So there's tons and tons of little tide pools around these beaches up along the coast, and I've decided to try to replicate that natural environment in my tank. So it is only a 10-gallon tank. So this tank is a 10-gallon standard aquarium. So with this tank, I am trying to replicate the tide pools over where I live in Monterey, California. And in these tide pools, I sometimes see these, so it goes shallow, and then just because of the waves and however they're pushing that day, I usually see these higher beds of sand with the seagrass in it. So what I've done is taken some seagrass plants, had a really thick substrate. Let me see it. Let me zoom out. This is almost as big as my hand. On the higher point, maybe to the middle of my palm. And these seagrass apparently need that really deep substrate to really start rooting and growing. But right now, these have been dying back. So hopefully these come back sooner or later. But also in this tank that I've gotten from the beach is this rock in the middle. I found that in a tide pool, so I was like really hoping all that microalgae and whatever bacteria would come with it. I could put it in my tank, it would jumpstart it, help jumpstart it. So, but right now, this entire tank has been covered in this clear-ish, transparent-ish biofilm. It has, at first, it completely covered that side of the tank, and then it gradually went away, moved to this rock and this back part right here. But let me know in the comments below if you know what this is. I've done a little research. I think it's just an excess of waste in the water, but let me know in the comments down below. So because I live pretty much right next to the beach, there is a fishing place I like to go to, and I have a crab trap, so I threw that down with some chicken on it, and I pulled out a bunch of these snails, these sea snails. No idea what they are. Let me know in the comments if you know what they are, but they're all black except their white bellies, but they're pretty much just munching away. I even pulled up some hermit crabs. I have some pretty big ones. Let's see if there's another one right there. In the tide pools, I've also found a live mussel. So I put that in there. Hopefully it lives. I have no idea how to care for a mussel. Let me know in the comments below if you know any care tips. I would love to read some and gain some knowledge. So with this tank, because I'm trying to replicate the ocean, and I have a readily ginormous amount of salt water that I can use, I am bringing in fresh ocean water. No, it hasn't been filtered. I get it in a couple 5-gallon buckets, bring it home, do a water change, and essentially that's it. So I'm doing a little research. This is more of a science experiment more than anything, but I am talking to some marine biologists that have said that because the water is technically live, if you will, it has the plankton, it already has the bacteria. It's not tap water that's been dechlorinated, put marine salt in, mixed, and then put in the tank. This is more natural. This is very wild, a more wild experiment, if you would so. And this is how I'm doing my water changes. I put a anemone in there, a giant one. That thing has split already a few times. It's loving the water. It is a small tank with only a sponge filter in it, that's providing the filtering, the aeration. I did not want to go all crazy for this experiment. I just wanted to keep it as simple as possible, and it's doing fairly well. The bubbles on top, there isn't too much of those protein film bubbles. I mean, I can do more water change. I should probably be doing maybe like twice a week, maybe 3 times. But right now, at least, with my current schedule, because I'm working full-time, this tank is doing good. As other than the biofilm, which I'm assuming is going to clear out the more I do water changes. On the seagrass, I had no idea what this little guy was. He was literally the size of my pinky, my nail, and I had no idea what it was. I thought it was a snail that didn't have its shell, or it was like severely infected with like a parasite or something. But after watching different videos and researching, I found out this guy is a sea slug. So because I am using a sponge filter to filter this, and I'm doing the water changes with ocean water that already has all the things in it. All these bacteria, microorganisms, and bacteria sticking to the sponge, it's turning it into a little pale white, versus the sponge is all black. But on the actual sponge, you can see these tiny microorganisms moving around, feeding on all the stuff that's being sucked up and being filtered. So I'm hopefully I can have a really nice like whole culture and ecosystem soon. And this tank's only been running for 2 weeks, going on 3 weeks. So that's pretty much it for the tide pool tank. If you have any questions about the tank, I'll be more than happy to answer. If there's enough questions, I'll do a Q&A video about the tide pool tank. But thank you for watching Jay's Fish. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good one. See you next time.